going on, guys? So I have been doing my Lord of the Rings reviews for the past 2 days now with the Fellowship of the Ring and the Two Towers. Now it is time to conclude the trilogy with what is considered by many to be the best one and the one to have won 11 Oscars, including Best Picture, The Return of the King. So the plot of Return of the King is that Frodo and Sam are nearing the end of their journey to go into Mordor to put the ring in the fire and to destroy it. And Gollum is trying to tear them apart in this instance. And at the same time, the world of men are now fighting against Sauron. And this is the epic installment in the trilogy and the most epic finale, I think, out of any trilogy ever. I don't think any third movie has been considered to be even more epic than its first two. This is a trilogy that in many aspects gets better as it goes on. Now, in many aspects, outside of the battle sequences, this may be my favorite. And I know I'm going against what I said about Two Towers, but Two Towers, I believe, was my favorite simply because of the Battle of Helm's Deep. But that is just one sequence, and an incredible one, but that's one sequence. This entire film is just absolutely marvelous in every single way. Every shot feels like it has weight, and every scene feels like it has so much style and substance that when you get to the battle sequences, your eyes are just ready to see this. You are glued to the screen this entire time. One thing that has always made me interested at the beginning of the movie is that, quite simply, it's a flashback sequence. That's the beginning of the movie. We see a flashback sequence of a young Smeagol, or Gollum, as many viewers would know him to be, as his brother finds the ring, and then he ends up killing him to get the ring. So that proves how much power the ring has without him even touching it. And as soon as he holds it in his hand, that shows just an epic foreshadowing of what is to come with him at the end of the movie when he just holds the ring and it's just like, finally. And to me, Return of the King did the impossible. This movie won 11 Oscars. Every single Oscar that it was nominated for, it won it, as well as over 130 other awards. That is brilliant and beautiful, and Peter Jackson will be remembered for all time as a director who made a trilogy of some of the greatest films ever made. And I know Christopher Nolan did his Dark Knight trilogy, but before that, we had Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy, for sure. These movies are absolutely incredible, and I love each and every one of them, and it's really hard to decide, so which one's my favorite and which one's my least favorite, because they're all so really close. You're trying to find out what's the best movie in the trilogy. Well, I think it may actually be Return of the King, because the Two Towers I love with all my heart. But that one scene at Helm's Deep just made all the difference. With Return of the King, all the battle sequences and every scene just holds so much weight. Every scene feels like it's the best part. And it just keeps getting better and better and better until they destroy the ring. That is the most incredible climax. You know, I always love the part where Boromir's father comes out and he is so shocked about everything that's coming, and he says, "Run for your lives, flee, flee," and then you see this cane, and it's Gandalf's cane, and then he hits him like 3 times with it, and then Gandalf looks out into the distance and says, "Prepare for battle." I love that moment. That moment is one of my favorite lines of all time, and is also one of my favorite scenes of all time. It is so funny, and it is so great at the same time. I love that scene. The Battle of Minas Tirith is absolutely beautiful, and I think there was one moment in the movie that I think was the moment that beat the Two Towers, and then went on for another 45 minutes. And that's the scene where the ships dock in, and then Legolas, Aragorn, and Gimli come off the ships, and then as they're approaching them, the army of the dead just swoops out behind them. That shot is one of the best shots ever. It's probably my top 5 best shots ever. I couldn't imagine anyone doing any better than that shot. It's incredible. Honestly, guys, it's kind of rare when you get to see a trilogy in which all 3 movies are amazing, like the Dark Knight trilogy and the Cornetto trilogy, and then there are trilogies that actually get better as they go on, and to me, I think that's the Cornetto trilogy. But Lord of the Rings is definitely that other trilogy that in many ways just gets better and better as it goes on. The CGI becomes better. The battle sequences are more intense and stylized, and they're so well shot. The direction is brilliant. The writing is brilliant. The acting is fantastic. The cast is marvelous. The visuals, oh my god, the visuals, way to digital. Oh, they're so beautiful. I want to go there. I really do. These three movies just expanded my imagination. When I watched these movies as a kid, I felt like they were more than just movies, like Star Wars and Indiana Jones. These are like more than just movies. These just broaden your imagination in the best way possible. And I gotta give Return of the King props for that. And I think that this may be the best out of the trilogy, if you can get past the multiple endings. It's a magnificent conclusion to an epic trilogy, and maybe the most epic out of all three of them. So in the end, guys, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, of course, gets an A+. Thank you guys for watching another one of my movie reviews. I really appreciate it as always, and I am so glad to have gone through all three of the Lord of the Rings films, giving them all A+, because that's what they deserved. And I am so glad to have gotten through that. Next up, I will be bringing you guys the rest of my Christopher Nolan films. I will be reviewing The Dark Knight shortly, and then Inception, Dark Knight Rises, and then Interstellar. And I'll also be reviewing 2 of my favorite films segment, as well as a couple of other Christopher Nolan films, because they earn that. But anyway, guys, if you like this review, then of course, click the like button, send some comments about what movies you want me to review next, and I will definitely deliver for you guys. Thank you all, and stay tuned.